Vegas. I decided to pop home to Los Angeles for a couple nights because my heart and head weren't into the game. I just needed a little reset. And so now I'm driving in, not staying at a hotel anymore, staying at a house, kind of switching up my living situation to try to put myself in a better headspace.
At the light, use the second lane from right to turn right onto South Las Vegas Boulevard.
Thank you, navigation, for telling me how to get to Paris. So today we're playing the 1500 No-Limit Millionaire Maker, which means the winner of this tournament is guaranteed to make at least $1 million, but honestly, the fields in this tournament in years past always far supersede that. So that's what we're playing. I was still a little hesitant last night as to whether or not I wanted to play today. And I think it's a little bit of that like run bad vibe where you're like, if you've not done well in multiple tournaments, then you kind of feel that stink on you, you know? So the only way you get that stink off of you, like obviously you need to be smart about making sure your headspace is in the right place to play poker, but then kind of the only way to get out of that space is to remember, like, you just have to keep trying. You just have to get back on the horse and ride. So today in the Millionaire Maker, she getting back on the horse to ride. Made the first break of the Millionaire Maker, which is always fun because it means you're not a big fat loser. I'm playing with Jill today in the Millionaire Maker, and you had a deep run in 2019. You're the last one standing.
I did, I was.
How did you do it? What's the secret to getting deep in the main?
I was folding a lot of hands. I was playing super tight, and I raised in spots where I just read that the player was weak and just trying to raise me because I was a woman. I was super lucky a few times. I had a set of fours and knocked out aces.
Is that how you're playing at our table now? You can just tell me
No, this...
Because, you know, I need the edge here, Jill. You're like more recent.
I don't have very many chips left, so... No, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if it's because I was a newbie. It was my first main event, and I was terrified. I was terrified of playing. So,
well, good luck at this table in the Millionaire Maker, but not too much.
Thank you very much.
Avoid each other.
Okay, thank you.
Busted the Millionaire Maker, but good news is it's still early enough to register and have a second bullet. I think I'll sit down with 62 big blinds. Guys, I did it again. I blew up in a hand. I had almost double starting stack and picked this brand new player. I have ace queen. He raises button, foreign guy. I kind of just think he's bullying me. I end up, long story short, completely bluff shipping river, and he had queens. So trying to figure out what I need to do to adjust my game so that when I build a stack, I don't just bluff it off. I mean, easier said than done, but it's, you know, you want to harness the power of having a big stack. At the same time, you want to keep your chips. So I'm trying to figure out the right gear. It was just a bad read on my part where in a few other situations today, those kinds of aggressive plays worked. Here's a little beginner tip when you first sit down to a new table, especially if you're re-entering or late registering. Take a look at your opponent's chip stacks in comparison to your own. If you're not sitting down at the start of the tournament, so then you know where you stand versus the players you're playing with, who to avoid, who's going to be shipping, and so forth. Simple little tip. On break from the Millionaire Maker, and I walked into the arena and spotted my boy David Williams at the final table of the 1500 horse. So fun. Out of 4 WSOP tournaments this summer, I have yet to sit with anybody that I know until now. Wait, what about me? Rude.
How much the top? His money?
I knew he was gonna do that.
Just you and me? I'd not have it any other way, Chris. No! I've got Ace Busters. Just kidding. This is the only way it was gonna go down, right? As you saw, Chris Moorman did me in 2 bullets in the 1500 Millionaire Maker. I had a really fun time on my first table, and I don't know, maybe I had too much fun and I wasn't fully focused on the game, although it's really hard when you're playing such long days because the World Series has good structures. It's really hard to be completely focused on the game for hours and hours and hours and hours and then potentially days. So that was a Millionaire Maker. I always come out of tournaments and just have so many things going through my head. So far, I think a theme of this series is just, I feel like I'm playing too many different people's games, too many different styles of games. Although I guess sometimes you always look for an excuse. Like if you're not making it deep and cashing the World Series, then you're just trying to figure out what's going wrong. And sometimes poker is just, a lot of things have to go right to do well in poker. So maybe I'm just grasping at straws. I had planned to play 1 bullet today in the Millionaire Maker and 1 bullet tomorrow, but because I had enough time to re-enter today, I decided to do that. When you're a woman, or at least this woman, you want to get as much use out of your makeup and hair job as possible. So I decided to take my 2nd bullet today. And so now I have to debate if I want to try again tomorrow in the Millionaire Maker. I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. I mean, I definitely feel like deep stacks are a little more my jam, so I might want to spend more of my bankroll on the deep stacks, although well, and there's also a really tempting $1,000, $1 million bounty coming up. So I'm gonna have to look at my bankroll, look at the upcoming schedule, figure out. Sometimes, like today, after playing the Millionaire Maker today for 2 bullets, you just feel a little more acclimated to the structure and what not to do and what to do. So part of me is a little bit eager to jump back in the Millionaire Maker tomorrow. That just means that there's some other tournament down the line that I won't potentially play. So I'm gonna check the schedule, make that decision. I'm gonna go home right now and see my dog and do a bunch of social media vlog work. And if I don't play tomorrow, Maria Ho is threatening me with a pool day. Starting stack going into level 5. This is my 4th bullet, my 2nd bullet today. I'm just really trying to work on mindset today and remind myself that it doesn't matter how many chips I have now. I still have, I think it's like 50 big blinds. Sometimes you feel like a failure if you didn't amass a lot of chips in the first couple levels, but you can't win a tournament in the first couple levels. So I'm just really trying to focus on my mindset, not feeling defeated because I haven't chipped up yet, and remember that I have enough chips for now. All I have to do is work on making good decisions in every little hand and pot, and I actually don't have to win every hand and pot. You know, sometimes your ego gets very involved. So been playing for many years, but the World Series is a completely different beast. So I'm really just trying to focus on my mentality and not bust myself. Look who just sat down at my table. Another friend, Maria. Not that Maria, this Maria.
What's it called? Big one.
What the fuck, bro? Come on, man.
Wow.
Comes with a royal flush.
What's that feel like, bro?
Yeah, you just got a royal, bro. Come on, say something to the camera. Lucky.
Sometimes when you play so many poker tournaments in so many days, you don't remember what table you're at. But the good news is, all I have to do is go walking through the sea of tables to find my chip tower. Coming back from dinner break.
Hi, we are. What's up?
Lily Coletto. You girl, you got work to do though.
I do have work to do. They've been taking all my chips all day.
And then guys just come up and do this and.
How are you?
Hi. What's your secret? What's your secret? Small short stack secret.
I don't have one because normally I have chips.
Really? Always?
Always.
So is it? Are we just like looking for shoves here?
Yeah, looking for shoves. I don't have any secrets. Does anybody else have any secrets on this?
Do you have secrets?
How do you guys play this game?
What's the secret to short stack poker? Anybody?
Jim.
Bad advice.
I want them on the river.
There you go, you got it.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh,
Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, we got a spade. Oh, you got a spade too.
No,
Oh, here you
it's
got
over.
it. It's
No!
bye.
She did. He said the river.
And I got the river too.
It's the last level of the Millionaire Maker, day 1. If my energy seems low, bro, I'm tired. What, we've been playing poker for 10 hours, 11 hours now? Of course you get breaks, but the grind is real, the grind is hard. Fingers crossed, not counting my chickens before they're hatched, not counting my bag before my chips are bagged, because I'm only coming back with 20 bigs, but I've been grinding most of the day. I feel like I've plugged some of the holes that I had the last few tournaments where I kind of had these blow up bluffy spots. I'm just making some good folds, intentionally not stupidly committing chips. So let's see what we can do with 20 bigs, the last level of the day. I would love for a day 2 on my WSOP record this summer. So my goals and mindset for this last level of the day in day 1 of the Millionaire Maker is going to be to not be attached to my chip count. If I end the day with chips in front of me, that means I can continue on in the tournament. I don't want to have any kind of stack envy. So all that I can do and focus on is accumulate chips if I can. Don't be disheartened if I lose chips. Don't be attached to what my stack size is at the end of the day. Because if I make the end of the day, that means I come back tomorrow. It's a whole new day, whole new ball game. Seems really, really simple. But there feels like a lot of pressure in this last hour of a tournament, especially when there's some huge monster stacks in the game. So just end the day with chips is my micro goal. So there's 2 things that are the worst thing in poker. One is being the person to bust out 1 spot away from the payouts when you're in the money, on the money bubble. And the other thing is busting out the last level of the day when you've been playing all day and everybody's about to bag and move on to day 2. And that's what I just did in the Millionaire Maker. I don't love the last hand I played, and I had this feeling going into it that it was going to be a troublesome hand. I had about 20 big blinds in the hijack, a player that didn't play a lot of hands, but I didn't necessarily determine that meant that he's a tight player. He could have been card dead. I didn't have a great read on him, but I just know that he didn't play a ton of hands. He raises in late position. I'm 2 off the button. I have king jack. I decide to call. He just min raised, but when I decided to call, I felt bad about it. I know that king jack can be a difficult hand to play to a raise, and for a split second I thought about just letting it go, but also I was trying to not play scared money. It's definitely a playable hand, and it's playable in position, which I had on him. So I called because you have to play some pots and call some raises in order to chip up. And the flop was 6-7 king, I believe, so I have top pair. he bets 5,000 into a pot of 15,000, which seemed pretty small to me. I called. The turn is a queen. I thought about actually shipping on the flop because I just didn't have enough chips behind to really play multiple streets against somebody who has me much more outstacked. And he bets again. I don't remember what his bet size was, but now at this point I think I only have like 20, 25, 30 behind. And now the pot's what, 10, 20, 30, there's about 30,000 in the pot, and that's about what my entire stack size was. And so, yeah, I decided to push all in. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion like I put him on hand ranges, and one of those ranges was having ace king. It's just, I guess, a lack of information with this player just really confused me in this hand. And he did have ace king. I wasn't worried about him having king queen. I thought he could have ace queen, ace jack, tens, or there's so many hands that he could have been raising with. Anyway, my king jack into his ace king. We both have top pair, but he has a better kicker. And it's not the worst hand, but at the same time, I feel like I wish I had followed that intuition of not playing king jack in a moment or in a spot against a player that I didn't feel comfortable playing that hand. So, but ultimately, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm mostly annoyed because I played all day, over 10 hours, and busto. But, the positive takeaway is I played all day. So that means I'm not a total failure. I know what I'm doing a little bit. Anyway, we'll see what tomorrow holds. I'm going to sit here and think through that king jack hand a little bit more. Torture myself. Not really. I mean, kind of. But also, it's important to kind of think about how you could I have gotten away pre-flop? I guess my only choice is getting away pre-flop, because if I call his 5K bet on the flop and I call his turn, he's basically putting me all in on the river no matter what. So I don't, in hindsight, I don't love that I pushed over the top of him. At the same time, it's going to be pretty hard for me to fold king high on a king high flop no matter what. So anyway, these are the thoughts going through my head at midnight as I am about to go to sleep after playing 10 hours of poker.